Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to the Pretty Rich Teacher podcast. I am so excited to chat with you all today. I have one of my clients. We're going to go straight into her story. You all are going to resonate with her so much. I think I'm just going to get started. Keysha, say hi, girl. Let's just get
Hey,
started.
everybody.
We're just going to get straight into it. Tell
I'm
us
ready for it.
who you are. And I want to really go back to the very first call that we had. So the way Keysha found me, I think it was through email. You're like, okay, you are describing my exact problem. Then you book a sales call. We get on a call and I called her out immediately. I'm like, you look like you're putting on a mask for the world. Like it looks
Oh,
like you're not really allowing yourself to really be. Like I called her out on the very first call. This girl was burnt out. Tell us what you were doing. Let's start there because I feel like what I was telling Keysha before we press record, every single thing that Keysha went through are reasons why other brilliant educators are stopping and not allowing themselves to go through the transition. So this episode is really going to touch on navigating life, like hard life while still making a career transition. So let's talk about where you were and what made you want to like your journey of wanting to get out of the classroom. Why all the things.
well, we can take it back to how in the world I got there in the first place.
Mhm.
I was fresh out of college, had a best friend from high school that was an athletic coordinator, was like, hey, I need a volleyball coach. I said, great, I'm here. Never went to school to be a teacher, never considered it. Honest and truthfully, never crossed my mind. Did that, realized I needed some woosah. I had no woosah. 21-year-old Keysha had no woosah. So I actually was a massage therapist for a couple years.
Okay.
And it was one of my last clients. Actually, I was pregnant the entire time I massaged. My second day of work at the new spas when I found out I was having my first baby. And I was like, oh my God. So that's why all the smells are strong. I thought it was just a spa. Turns out I was pregnant. So yeah, massaged the whole way through. And one of my last clients was like, do you ever miss your athletes? Do you ever miss coaching? And I was like, honestly, yeah, because they're kind of entertaining, right? So everything's good. We move on. And I decide, like, after I had my baby, I would go back to the spa. So I had my job there for a little while afterwards. And then I was like, man, I do actually, like, miss my athletes. So went home. These are where the breakdown started, actually, when I think about that. So that was like 2019. Fun times.
Mhm.
Had a breakdown in bed. I'll never forget it. My baby was just born in February at that time, and it was probably Mayish, June. And I'm in tears. And my then boyfriend at the time, now husband, was like, oh my God, what's wrong? Why are you freaking out? And I was like, I have this new life and it depends on me. I'm supposed to keep her alive and I don't even know what I'm doing. Whole breakdown. And he was like, well, you said you missed your athletes. You said you're really good at science. They always need science teachers. You should go take your test. And I was like, okay, because what I needed was stability, right? The spa, that was for me, Keysha by myself. I can go live my whimsical gypsy hippie nomad life and everything is fine. But then, motherhood hits you, being an adult hits you, and you're like, oh, I guess I have to grow up. That's fun. So I go take the test. I studied literally for like 3 weeks before I took the test. And I said a prayer before every certification test I ever took in the same parking lot. And I would just sit there and be like, God, if this is what you want me to do, I'm gonna need you to answer these questions for me. Because if not, then let me know and I'll back up. And sure enough, you needed like a 240 to get certified. I got a 240 on the dot. So that was great. So I was like, all right, cool. This is where I'm supposed to be. We're gonna move. So we maneuver, we were agile. First school I was at, I was not built for that. And gratefully, the first person I talked to when I walked into that building was Coach Tyler. He was awesome. And we happened to walk down the hall together. And I was like, new here? And he's like, yeah. You? I was like, yeah. He goes, first year. I was like, me too. And he was like, sixth grade science. I was like, sixth grade science. So the first person I met was actually my teacher partner. And the only reason I stayed in that school that long is because I felt so bad leaving him by himself. But mentally, I'm at this point 6-7 months postpartum. Can't do it. I can't do it. I moved away from my family. Family lives about 4 hours away, just a girl that needs her mom type of thing. And so we're navigating the world. And finally I was like, hey, I got to go. And so he's actually the one that hooked me up with the district that I was with for like essentially the majority of my career at that point in
Mhm.
education. And he was like, hey, like, I know you're leaving. Join this Facebook group, DFW teachers, like, they're always posting jobs, blah, blah, blah. Cool. So I join it, and I'm someone where, like, I am very ambitious. I will say that. I don't like to feel uncomfortable. I don't like to feel insecure. Like, I need stability, or my brain just, it doesn't function. And
Mhm.
so I get reached out to by an AP. This is how small my world is. Or by an AP, by a science teacher, and she was saying, "Hey, I need this position taken before she goes to be an instructional coach. Are you still interested?" And I was like, "Yes, I
Mhm.
am." Come to find out, she's actually the wife of one of my first friends I ever made in college. And I was like, oh my God, that's you. I've been liking your pictures for years. It's
Oh,
nice to meet you.
nice,
So
nice.
I ended up taking her role. So she kind of took me under her wing as like a veteran teacher, taught me everything I needed to know. My co-teacher there was like, oh snap, you're a coach. We need a coach. That's how I ended up coaching in that district. So it was all literally like a God constructed divine
So, it
internship
sounds a
time.
little bit like, though, like, the opportunities were kind of falling in your lap, and, like, with teaching, it was fairly easy to kind of, uh, network and promote your way into positions that you were
Hmm.
wanting to get into.
Yep. But like, I always knew in the back of my mind, this isn't what I wanted to do. It's
Mm.
something I'm really good at. I feel like a natural born talent, I
Mhm.
guess. It came to me just being able to lead and guide and coach was like natural. So it
Mhm.
was very easy for me to move up and to network there. And I knew like I never wanted to be a science teacher. Eventually, if I wanted to be a teacher, if I was going to do this forever, I wanted to be a PE teacher.
Mhm.
Right. That was my next, I think I want my next goal. So I
Yeah.
do finally get that. I was a science teacher for 4 years before I eventually moved into my PE role. And when I realized I still wasn't happy there, it was like, okay, we found the stability, we found the security. We're in a better place financially. I'm in a better place mentally. I'm in a better place within, just everything in my life right now. And you're still not happy with your career. We need to focus on that because I wasn't somebody that wanted to be 30, 40 years in my career and be absolutely miserable for like my entire life. I just don't think that's why
I
I'm on
wanna
earth.
pause and ask you a question because what you're doing is very advanced level, and I want people to kinda know what you're doing. You're, like, having a conversation with yourself. It's like
Yeah.
you it sounds like you, like, remove yourself out of it and be like, "Okay, girl." So you're just like
Hmm.
one thing, "Okay, I need stability, I need this. Okay, but I wanna do this, I wanna do that." And then you get there, and you're like, "Okay, girl, we got here, but this is actually not what we wanted." It sounds like you have and had this grander vision for yourself, and you
Hmm.
were able to recognize, like, all parts. Like, even though I love to guide, even though I miss my athletes, you still have that voice. Can you talk a little bit about that voice and how that works so that people who are watching this know exactly what you're doing? Because it's people who don't notice it don't notice, and I really want you to talk about
Right.
what you actually do.
I think that the way I'm set up, I'm a very introspective person.
Mm.
And some would call it perfectionist, I guess. Like, maybe I don't always feel like enough was enough, but I just
Yeah.
always knew life itself is so precious. Being miserable cannot be the reason that I'm here. So
Mm.
it's like, yeah, you've got the $90,000 job. You've got the amazing husband. You've got the wonderful, perfect child. Like, you've got the job, very cush job from a teacher standpoint. I'm getting paid the same as the history teacher, but I'm not doing as much work in that
Mhm.
classroom, like ideal, but you're still not happy. And
Mm.
so that question, that old time question of, oh, does money buy happiness? No, I don't think it does. I think it helps. It helps buy me things that makes me
I
happy.
think it solved your money problems.
Right. But that doesn't
Money
make you
solves money
happy.
problems. Yeah.
And that voice in the back of my head was not willing to settle for just like, okay, life. Like, it wasn't willing to settle sacrificing something I didn't think was worth it. And that's always
Mm.
kind of been, even 5-year-old me knew if I don't like it, I don't like it. And there's
Mm.
nothing you can tell me. There's no amount of time that's going to pass by that's going to change that. If I don't like it, I don't like it. If I didn't like
Mm.
basketball back when I was 5 years old, 32-year-old Keisha's not going to like basketball now. Right?
Mm.
If I did not like people telling me where to be, telling me how to do it, telling me what to teach, telling me what to say, if I didn't like that back when I was 18, 45-year-old Keisha's not going to like that either. And
Mm.
at the end of the day, what it felt like to me when I was in that situation was, you're still young, you're still able-bodied, Why can't you do it?
Mm.
And so I actually discovered you on TikTok.
Mhm.
You popped up. I don't know what I was looking up to make you pop up in my algorithm, but you did. And so I was like, okay, yeah, I want your free ebook. Let's talk about it because I want to get out of here. I'm like on my way to work at this point. And so I get the ebook. I remember it was advisory. It was study hall. So I'm on my little computer and I'm taking your test. And it
Mhm.
gives me, I think it gives me sales at first. And I was like, oh no, baby, I won't do that. Hold on. I did that for a little bit. I want to do that. I want to do that. So I was like,
Uh-huh.
let me take it again. So I took it again. And that time it was like customer success manager. But I'm reading this jargon that I'm like,
Mhm. Mhm.
what does that
Mhm.
mean? I said, okay, it's fine. It's fine. So we moved on. I let it go because again, I'm in a P job. I
Mhm.
wasn't dying to get out of it like I was in the science classroom, right?
Mhm.
So then summer hits, we hit the next year. Still not it. One of the
Mhm.
greatest years in my coaching career. Like that was the last year I was in middle school. I went undefeated fully through, at this point I was a veteran coach in the district. So, if I pull up, they know who the curly headed coach is that throws the
Mhm.
bun up when her girls are stressing around. They know
Mhm.
who I am at this point. And I still wasn't happy. That voice was still
Yeah.
very much there. Like, all right, but like, do you want to do this for the next 30 years of your life? Because they're trying to tell you you can't retire till you're 67.
Mm.
I was like 27 when they told me that. I said, babe, what?
Mm.
That's a long time
For
from
40
now
years.
for me to do something that does not bring my soul joy.
Yeah.
Actually, it does the complete opposite. It sucks the joy right out of me. What patience?
Mm.
I felt bad because I had no patience for my own child because I gave it all to the
Mm.
300 children that were in my face all day.
Yeah, I
Like
think a
that
lot of
wasn't.
people feel that way. They're like, I give all my
Mhm.
energy to the kids at school, and I have my own kid in my own house, and I don't even have energy for my own kid.
I don't. I don't have the energy. I don't have the patience. I don't have the grace. I don't have the time. And it was not fair to her because she ain't asked to be here. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, she didn't ask for this life. Now, is it a good cush life? Yes. Is she lying on the couch with her feet up, legs crossed, with her little iPad and her little snack? Yes. That's the soft life that I wanted for. That's the reason I was crying on the bed when you were just a few weeks old because
Mhm.
I did not want to see you struggle. I
Yeah.
don't know what that is. I don't want that for you. So again, voice in the back of the head. It's one of those sounds a little crazy, I guess, because multiple personality disorder.
Mhm.
It exists. I don't have that. I'm just saying it
Yeah.
exists, right? But in my brain, got like a little round table,
Yeah.
of the various different
I don't
parts
think
of
that's crazy at all. I think
process.
I
Yeah,
don't
so
think crazy
it's
at
the
all.
voices.
Yeah.
Voices is like career. Hey, we need to make sure we have this, 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 and this. And family chimes in, yep, but we need to make time for that.
Mhm.
And then motherhood clicks in like, well, did we make sure we booked this for daughter? Did we make
Mhm.
sure daughter has this? And the one voice that was very quiet, but there was the Keysha voice that got pushed in the back when I had to start
Mm.
making sacrifices. Like when
Mm.
I had to start making the decision that if I want to have a relationship with this person that I knew I liked when I first met them back in college and we reconnected after 3 years, if I really want to be with him, well, we kind of have no choice. We have a child on the way, right?
Mhm.
But his career's back home, 4 hours away. Do you have the decision to stay there or do you have a decision to try to make it work? I
Mm.
know that I have a stable village that I come from, that if God forbid I take the chance and it doesn't work out, I'm not gonna end up on the streets. You can
Mhm.
always go back, go back to the parents, good old the green casa. Those are my people. They'll always have
Yeah.
open arms, right? So
Yeah.
screw it. I'm gonna do it. So now, boom, I feel like I'm in this thing where now I'm a girlfriend. When you're a girlfriend, you can't act a certain way and you can't be a certain way. And then boom, hey, you're a mom. You can't act a certain way. You can't be a certain way.
Mhm.
Boom, you're a teacher. You can't act a certain way. You can't be a certain way. So it's just like chipping away at
Keysha,
the
the
Keysha, the
true
big
essence of you.
personality and the essence and the presence of my soul, my aura, what makes me me.
Mm.
And that was just eating at me because if there was something that has always been about me is I am me, I am authentic,
Mhm.
I am genuine, I am who I am, I'm an acquired taste, if you would. Either you
Yeah.
really fuck with me or you don't.
Yeah.
And either way, I'm okay with that. I really
Yeah.
am, and that is the voice that was in the back of my head, like, "Are you
Yeah.
happy?" Because I wasn't,
Yeah.
I was thriving, I was content, I was comfortable, I was at peace, but being at peace doesn't always mean happiness is in play, you know? And I feel like oftentimes people confuse those and they're like, oh, well, I got a peaceful life. Yeah, but are
Yeah.
you happy?
And is it peace or is it comfort?
You know? And there's a difference. And then that it was comfortable. I knew you're not gonna fire a teacher, baby. We in the middle of a teacher shortage. You need me. But do I want you?
Yeah.
And I feel
Yeah.
like when you're in the reason you were given free will was to decide what do you want.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
you are touching on something big because what a lot of high achieving women do is they do silence that voice, and the most important one, which is you. It's like, yes, I feel like with women, you do play so many roles, especially if you're a mom, especially if you're a girlfriend, a wife, a teacher, a coach. Like you wear so many hats of responsibility, and it's very easy for you to forget the most important responsibility of yourself. And I feel like it's not crazy to listen to that voice because I feel like that voice, like especially if you're listening to this podcast, you have some type of vision of you wanting to do something different or you wouldn't be listening to this. But what's
Legit.
the most challenging, brutal thing is you ignoring the voice. So talk about that voice and how you started letting her come to the front. And I know that you said you also started doing things on your own for like 4 years. Tell me about the journey
Yeah.
of trying
Of
to get
that.
out of the classroom and when did you decide in your journey of, okay, like I know I'm a high achiever. I know I do all these by myself, but like I need some help. Talk about
I
that.
need some help. Yeah, and in listening to that voice of self, when you get in a relationship, a healthy relationship, a happy relationship, you almost literally 2 fleshes become one. You mesh and so ironically, the day that I was like, meh, it's okay. My husband had reached out to me and was like, hey, I think I want to do this cybersecurity course. And I was like, okay, let's talk about it, because I had a friend who was in the military. He got out, he got into cybersecurity. So he was the one that kind of planted that little seed with us, like, oh, okay, maybe. And I was like, I would like to move into tech. I just didn't know where to go, didn't know where to start. And so oh, Jesus. We paid $6,000 for this course that neither one of us completed because it happened during the literal height of both of our coaching careers. And my husband was going to state and I was leading the program. And it was a lot. It was a lot for us to try to do that. So it ended up falling by the wayside. We still end up having to pay the money back, obviously, right? Because she took out a loan for the cohort. And it was like, okay, 4 steps forward, 10 steps back kind of moment. And it was like, all right, fine. But again, we're both teachers. We're both stable. They gonna send us that contract. You know what I'm saying? So cool, we'll figure it out. And then I was like, you know what I'm going to be? A notary. Still a notary, still fun. Nice to have that in the back pocket. But I was like, I'm going to do it because I am a very balls to the wall, pedal to the metal, all or nothing, hyper fixated person. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to freaking do it. I'm going to buy everything that I need for it. And working on that. It's probably my shopping problem. But
yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to do it. So I got the LLC. I got my business cards. I went, again, I'm thinking grand orchestration. I look at my email and the company that did my nose piercing did an email and was like, hey, we're doing free headshots. I need headshots.
Yeah.
Freaking yes. So we go and we get those done and everything was just falling into place. Everything was falling into place. And then the crazy year started and it just kind of all got derailed from there, which is how I ended up on the phone call with you. So now my plan to not renew my contract, not come back, start my business. I'm in a position where I had the resources to start my business and it be not detrimental to me financially, mentally, stressful. You know what I'm saying? Like I had the plan. I laid it out the whole second semester of my last year teaching middle school. Had the plan laid out. Cue curveball, you're pregnant. And I was like, damn it. Because there's the voice again. Because now the mom voice comes. The mom voice is, girl, I know what you really want to do, but we do have to be responsible here. If we have a baby on the way, baby, we need health insurance. Like, we need stability. So it was like, so I'm going to re-sign the contract. So I re-signed my contract. I put in 2 applications to test if maybe now that I've achieved the highest thing that one can achieve as a middle school coach, right? Because I always told my students, baby, I'm not here to teach you. I'm here to coach you. They just told me in order to coach you, I had to be a teacher. That's why I'm a PE teacher. so I can do the same thing all day long. I just want to coach you. I don't want to deal with no testing, none of that, right? And of course, small world, one of the high schools called me back the day that all of it happened, called me that morning after I picked my baby up from her first sleepover. We're feeling good. Husband's teaching summer school at the time. So we're on the couch, we're chilling, we're watching Wild Kratts, we're eating our snackies, and we're having a great time. I get a phone call. Hey, this is Coach so-and-so from said high school. I saw your application. I love your resume. Would you be interested in interviewing? Yeah, I'm here for it. They asked me what sports I coach. I let them know, blah, blah, blah. They go, okay. Well, just so you know, this position does have a soccer coach. Are you comfortable with learning that? I said, yeah, man, I feel like it's a middle school coach. I coach everything. It's fine. Just teach me what I need to know and I got you.
Yeah.
No worries, right? And so, boom, I hang up the call. And then my daughter has track practice later that day. And so this is the first time I did not go to her track practice, which thank goodness I didn't. And yeah, husband left. I'm tired as all get out, so I'm taking a nap, and then that's when everything happens. But we'll get to that point. Either way, the voice was like, "Hey, we got to be responsible. Put the notary business on hold." And so when I ended up on the phone call with you, I had obviously gotten the job at the high school. So I called you October 15th when I started. So our call I think was October 8th. So at this point, I'm probably halfway through my volleyball season, and I was like, baby, I'm not going to make it to May. Mentally, after everything I had already gone through, if everything that I went through in the process, didn't know all that was going to happen. But mentally, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose it.
Yeah.
I can only be so strong, So we got to keep it doing. We got to do something. So I booked the free call. We get on the call. I tell you what's going on. And yeah, very much start today. Very much did. I see that you're not really showing who you are. She's so lost in the sauce right now. She's back there. I hear her. I promise. She's drowning, but she's staying afloat at the same time. I hear her. She's a survivor. She's a warrior. But you're right. There's a lot of things that are going on in my life right now where being Keysha was not the priority, right? Had to be Coach Jay. I had to be Keysha, the wife. I had to be mommy. I had to be the daughter, the only daughter, right? I have to be the sister. I have to be everything right now. And I'm going through a lots going on. And unfortunately, I don't talk about my feelings like that. I have big feelings. I have a lot of big feelings. I don't talk about them. I just kind of talk about it in my round table. Me and my round table talk about it in my head. I very rarely ever express it like that. And is that healthy? No. Did I know that was healthy? Yes. I knew that I probably should get some help. I should. But where's the time, right? I'm at the school at 5:45 in the morning. I have practice from 6 to 8, and then I've got class until about 3:30. And then with its game days, I'm not getting home till 11 p.m. sometimes because we've got games an hour away. You've got volleyball. Varsity is 5 sets. JV freshman is 3 sets. All 3 teams are playing. It's a lot, right? And then weekends come. Well, you got a tournament all day long. So what should theoretically be a 2-day weekend is really only a 1-day reset. How are we going to reset? Because when I get home, we got to grocery shop. We got to clean the house up, we've got to cook dinner. What's for dinner? I don't know. I have decision fatigue because people have been asking me questions all day and I just don't have an answer for you. And I appreciate the grace that my husband showed during that entire process because he was slowly watching his wife lose her mind. And mind you, he met 21-year-old me. He met pure carefree Keysha. And he's watching the growth happen and the evolution over time. And now he's watching it all freaking spiral. And he's like, oh my goodness, what do I like? He was freaking out so that he called my parents. I didn't even, he called my parents. And so my parents are calling me hey, are you good? And I'm like, actually, no, I'm fine for life out here. But
I want to pause this because what you're describing, Keysha, is what a lot of women are going through right now. And I love the fact that you have a supportive husband to notice that. But a lot of women, they are either people are seeing it or not seeing it. But a lot of women are going through this alone. So I want to take that moment to pause. If you feel any of this, if emotions are coming up, that is natural. That is okay. And I want to like, recognize that. And it sounds like the biggest thing is you were kind of was ignoring yourself and you were trying to make everyone else happy, but it literally took a toll on you emotionally. And not talking about the feelings is also suppressing Keysha because Keysha is a human with feelings. Every human is born with feelings, right? If you get burned by a fire, you're going to feel that. It's going to
Why don't you
hurt.
feel
You're
that?
going to be sad, mad, etc.
Feel that.
And I want you all to kind of know like that even if it's mental stress or physical stress going in there, it takes a toll on your body physically
Mhm.
where if you don't get the help and the support, and this is not a shame, this is like you deserve support. You deserve someone to see you.
Yeah.
You deserve to be able to be held and seen, and you deserve to be able to put yourself first on the top of the pyramid. And it seems like that's what you were slowly getting to
Mhm.
with a new job.
Slowly, yeah, that was what I felt like. I had everything else. Why am I so unhappy? It's this
Yeah.
career. It
Mhm.
is, like, and it is a career where if you don't have the passion for fashion, like, it's gonna drain you because you're not
Yeah.
happy, and it does require you to show up. This is not one of those jobs where it teaches you one of those jobs where you can be sad. Like,
Yeah.
you can't. I mean, you have 30 freaking kids in your face that are
Yeah.
expecting you to show up, be ready, be present, be there for them, be their
Yeah.
counselor, be their teacher, be their sister, uncle, brother, cousin, auntie, whatever they need in that moment. And they deserve that, right?
Yeah.
Again, they asked to be here. You signed up for that when you signed up for the contract. Like, that's the things, those are the different rationales that are in my head of like why I chose to ignore Keysha. Because at the end of the day, babe, Keysha signed that contract, right? Like,
Yeah.
Keysha knew going into this, but I guess I didn't realize the amount of trauma I was holding on to because I am such a, yeah, all right, deal with it. Fuck it, we're gonna keep it moving because
Yeah.
wow,
High
life
achiever.
keeps going. Yeah, and it does. Like, but just because life keeps going doesn't mean that you have to meet the pace of it. Because
Mhm.
sometimes the pace you're being called to do is slow the fuck down.
Yeah. If not, life will slow you down.
It will,
Please
yeah, like,
don't.
and physically, the toll was taken, like, it all happened so fast because you almost live in, like, this, like, hyperdrive tunnel vision where
Mhm.
it's just, "Here's my list of tasks that I need to do, I need to get these done, and when I get them done, I can finally relax," kind of thing, but you can't really relax because your brain is thinking about the next thing to do, so yeah, you're laying down, yeah, you're closing your eyes, but are you sleeping? Are you actually resting? Do you hit REM sleep? I didn't hit REM sleep for months. I can tell you right now, it was bad. Like, I wasn't
Mhm.
sleeping. I'm always gonna be a eater,
Mhm.
but the choices of what I was eating wasn't good.
Mhm.
I had so much inflammation in my face, like, I looked like I
Yeah.
can't even make this up, like, my face was legitimately round,
Mhm.
right? And then I'm getting fluffy, but only at the lower part of my stomach, but
Mhm.
then it starts getting to my arms, but you don't notice
Mhm.
any of this is happening because you have the tunnel vision. And
Mhm.
then I'm at my second funeral of that year, and that's when I realized in the pictures, I was like, "I look
Yeah.
different because
Yeah.
I've never really gained weight." Again, coach, athlete, always been pretty active. There was no time for activity, you know what I'm saying? There was no energy for activity, and it showed physically. Like, I had knots that were just so bad here that it was
Mhm.
starting to give me headaches up here because, like,
Yeah.
there was so much tension and trauma just being held. I hold a lot of it right here, and it hurts so
Yeah.
bad. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a lot. That physical toll that it took was crazy, and it wasn't like I would just start crying. Now I'm always been a little emotional, but
Mhm.
I just start crying. Someone will ask me a question, and because I'm already thinking about this question in my head, or I'm thinking about the answer in my head, and it's probably not the answer you want to hear, I'm gonna cry.
Mhm.
Like, you done pissed me off so
Yeah.
bad
It's
because
really just your body now catching up because it's like, okay, if you're gonna ignore me, I'm gonna ignore you.
I
I
mean,
know you wanna be happy and smiling in this
yes.
moment, but no, we're sad and we're gonna cry. We're frustrated and we're
Mhm.
gonna cry.
And we're gonna cry. Yeah, we're frustrated. We're sad. We're mad. We don't. People are asking me, "Oh, like, why do you want to be here, babe?" I don't know why I'm here. I told you I didn't
Mhm.
want to come back. Like, I had that real raw conversation with my athletic coordinator, and bless her heart again. Like, the angels that got sent to me at that last school that I was at really was God. I felt like it was kind of like my little holding tank until I
Mhm.
was ready to move forward. Like, the
Yeah.
arrows drawn back. That hold that pause before you release it was me at
Yeah.
that last school.
Yeah.
I didn't finish the school year. The athletic coordinator that put in a good word for me happened to be my daughter's track coach's
Mhm.
brother. And we
Yeah.
happened to find that out the same day that, again, I ended up in the situation that I was. So, like, small world orchestrated, divine
Yeah.
intervention. God knew I was going through it, but he didn't know that. He knew also, like, you're going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be good, but you have to keep going. And
Right.
that was something that I had to work through because I did keep going, but, like, it felt like I was going on autopilot, if you
Mm.
would.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, my body's going through the motions. Mentally, I'm not here, though. So then when you pull me back into that present moment, I'm a hot freaking mess. You're
Yeah.
asking me why I'm here. I'm telling you, babe, I don't know. I
Yeah.
actually wasn't planning on coming back to be a teacher at all this year, but
Yeah.
then I found out what happened to me, and I felt like I was making the responsible decision as a mom to keep my job and the career that I've built for the last decade. And I'm still miserable. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is the pinnacle of what I guess one would be in a teacher
Yeah.
coach situation.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not happy. I'm not. I'm actually exhausted. I'm
Yeah.
lost. I said, I'm angry. And that takes a
Yeah.
lot for people to admit being angry
Yeah.
with, I serve Jesus Christ. I don't
Mhm.
know who other people pray to, but at the end of the day, you're God, you're a higher
Mhm.
being, whatever it is for you. It's hard to admit that you're angry with them, right?
Mm.
Like, I can be angry at myself for things that I can control, but then there are things that are out of your control that are what you would consider, right? An
Yeah.
inconvenience or a detour to your plan. And it's hard to admit that some of those they're gonna piss you off, right? Like, I had
Mhm.
2 miscarriages before this ectopic pregnancy, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
All of this due to scar tissue that had nothing to do with me. I didn't do my surgery, right? But
Mhm.
I didn't know what's going on down there. No one knew until it happened why it
Yeah.
happened. So then it happens, but you're also like, I mean, okay, that's great and all, but what the what the fuck?
Right.
Like, what the fuck was that? Yeah, like,
Mhm.
so then all those emotions I'm trying to work through while also planning practice for friggin' 6 a.m. and all this for planning a lineup. And then I've got new rosters of kids, and you've got me teaching 2 different classes. So I'm not only a PE teacher, but I'm also a health teacher. You got me thinking about all of that, but
Yeah.
I've got real shit going
Yeah.
on right now in my life. So you're
So
asking me from here, babe,
yeah.
I don't know.
So how did you do that? Because again, I've also had miscarriages and I know like for me, I was at least working remotely.
Mhm.
How did you do that? And I'm sure there are other women who but like you literally
Yeah.
went through it is the worst feeling. Only if you've had a miscarriage you truly understand, but you still have to show up and with all those other
Mhm.
characters. You still have to be the teacher. You still had to be a mom. How did you do that?
Um, I think a lot of it has to deal with maybe how I was raised. I do have 2 military parents, so it suck it up, buttercup, and do what you
Yeah.
gotta do kind of thing, right? Not to say my parents weren't nurturing because 'cause they're great. I
Yeah.
absolutely love them. But
Military
at the
is
end of the day, baby, you gotta
yeah.
go. You gotta do it. You clean yourself up, feel
Yeah.
your feelings, and fucking keep it moving. And actually, one of my miscarriages happened while I was at basketball practice.
Yeah.
And I knew when it happened too because it hurt so bad. Like, the cramp that
Mhm.
hit me, I was like,
Yep. Mhm.
"Ooh." And I had just told my best friend who I worked with at the time, like, just told her, like, the day or 2 before, like, "Hey, like, we're expecting," and she's like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
it's so exciting," because she knew about the first miscarriage.
Yeah.
So when that happened, I was like, "Oh my gosh," and then,
Yeah.
I get home, like, I didn't even have it in me to tell my husband at the time because
Right.
we both returned from, Christmas break at that time, so it was, like,
Mhm.
early report for teachers. And he comes home, he sees a pad sitting in the trash can, that's when it, like, clicked for him, and he was like, "Hey, are you okay?" And I was like, "No, I'm not." So, boom, cue the
Yeah.
tears, right?
Yeah.
Because at this point, you're thinking, "Damn, what's wrong with me?"
Right.
Probably should it's not a healthy thought to have, but it is
Yeah.
a thought, right? Like,
Yeah.
"Damn, like, what's wrong?" Because
Mhm.
this one I got right now chilling in the room, she
No
was a
issues.
surprise baby. Yeah, no wasn't nobody expecting her, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't think that what I was doing back then when I first conceived
Yeah.
would be anything like, "Oh, yeah, she was keeping her body healthy and preparing." No, I wasn't, boo, I was partying. Like, I was
Yeah.
me and my husband was having a great
Yeah,
time,
but
man,
you weren't stressed.
but I wasn't stressed. And didn't click. Why? Like, why it wouldn't stick, right? And so, boom, we go through that. I keep it moving. Why do I keep it moving? Because at the end of the day, you know what we have on Tuesday? A freaking game. And they don't have time to see their coach crying in the corner because she's bleeding profusely and it freaking hurts really bad. And so it really just boiled down to, I guess, my work ethic is how I do it. Just like knowing that if someone's relying on me, or if I have a contractual obligation, or I gave my word that I was going to do something, then I'm gonna do it. I might not feel the best. I might not always have I might not have the go-to face, but like I gotta dang near be on my deathbed before I'm like, nah, maybe not.
I think you did it, but like I want to, because I feel like everything you're talking about, like literally every single thing, somebody is like, oh my gosh, like this is me, this is me, this is me, this is me. But I want to switch gears of like you decide, because like, even though you did it, it doesn't mean that it was the most healthiest for you. I feel like you knew that, so it was like, I'm not necessarily like blaming the career for that. Like there, obviously, like you said, there's scar tissue and stuff. There's so many different reasons. Stress does play a part in different things, but we don't know. But either way, it's a fact of you simply still having to continue in your job with this. So like, I want to talk about like that, because right now you're on a completely different life, and we want to hear about that. But you had all these things going on, like your own miscarriage. Then you had some deaths in the family, like plural. But you still, I want to really, because like what everything is you're describing is lifing for you times 10. Like you are the definition of life is lifing. Like you are the definition. So like anyone listening to, like, we're not comparing trauma, but this is a lot of things happening. But you still, that voice, talk about the work required for you getting that job. Because I believe you started working with me in October. And I feel like something you had told me, you had been trying to really actively go into a career that was not stressful for 4 years. And in 4 months, because I remember telling you, I'm like, ma'am, you need a therapist, respectfully, because we have a lot of feelings. I think I said that on the first call. I was like, ma'am, this mask is masking. Okay. I see right through all of that because I've been there. Like I literally been there. I think that's one of the strengths, bittersweet things. I've been through a lot of rough things in my life as well. So I have the gift of seeing it. It's not really a gift, but like, I'm like, girl, I see that struggle, right? It's all right. It's loud. Okay. But someone else may say, oh, it's just normal. Like you said, oh, no, just keep pushing through. But I want to hear your thought process, and I want to hear about that journey of you going to this new career that you don't know anything about, that you learned about. Like, talk about that journey, because I feel like that is where like most people stop with your story. Like, okay, these are all the reasons why I'm still stuck. But it sounds like you said, no, these are the reasons why I'm going to keep going. Talk about your journey from, okay, I'm signing up. I know I probably joined a program before it didn't work. I don't have time, but this voice in my head, me prioritizing myself, I need to make the money and the time and the desire to do this. Because you clearly, if you can go back to work after all those traumatic things, I feel like this challenge of going into a new career, it should be like, talk about that journey. I feel like it shouldn't be as daunting. Tell me your thoughts.
It honestly wasn't. What I remember our conversation, I was like, I really am. I pick things up fast, right? I would like to consider myself a pretty intellectual being, that like I just need to understand what it is I'm looking at. Because when I look at these job applications, what are they talking about? And really that boils down to just like the jargon for career fields, you know? Like I'm not going to walk into HVAC and know exactly what the heck everything they're talking about is. But if you teach it to me and you tell me what it is, bet I got you. And so that was the journey for me. And it was like all those reasons that I guess one would use to be like, oh, I can't do this because of that. I can't do this because of that. Because you can't do it is the reason why I have to do it. Like, because I don't like people taking reasons away from me of what I can and can't do. Like that really on a visceral level bothers me. I don't like you telling me what to do. I don't like you saying that I can't go here because of this. Like that bothers me. And
your own self. Because I feel like some people tell their own selves they can't do it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's most disrespectful.
Which is weird because could be a little delusional, but I don't think there's a single thing out there that I can't do if I don't put enough time into it. It's really just
only delusional people are the ones who believe that people are delusional when you go after the things that you say you want. I allow people to call me delusional. I allow it. I used to get triggered by it, but I'm like, you know what? You just not dreaming. We don't have the same dream. We don't have the same vision. And that's okay.
Yeah. And that's okay. You know, some people got 20/20 vision. Some people don't. Like, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But as for me and mine, I'm not going to, I don't think I was an hour away from death to be allowed to stay on earth to be miserable. I don't believe that.
You're here
And
for a
that was
reason.
the ultimate voice. That was Keysha putting her foot down.
Yeah.
When I decided I was going to book that October 8th call with you.
I actually
And
remember the whole day.
yeah, October 8th, because I remember saying I was going to wait till the end of the month. And I called my husband. I remember telling you, like, hey, we'll start, like, at the beginning whenever I get paid. And then I went home that night and I said, hey, I had a meeting with, my future mentor. He asked how it went. I said it was great. I told her I would start at the end of the month. I said, but I'm not going to lie, I really want to start, like, as soon as possible because I want to get out before soccer season.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I remember you were serious. You were like, hey, girl, what
yeah.
do I tell them? And I'm over here, girl, get a job. Let's get a job first.
Yeah, like, because
You were like,
I knew, I
okay,
was out of there, but that coach in me, that coach heart in me was like, I don't want to start this season and then be like, okay, hey, have fun. Y'all did great. I'm out of here. Like, I felt bad about it. They were great about though. They were wonderful athletes and they were like, hey, coach, like, we get it.
Because the kids,
I appreciate you.
I think the beautiful thing that people forget is that kids want what is best for you. They truly do. And with you being a coach, like, you have so many more kids. And you being the PE teacher, every kid knows. You're kind of like me. I was a discipline dean, so every kid knew me. But like, when I'm telling you, like, I went back to visit the kids, the stadium went wild. I kind of interrupted the basketball game. My bad.
Sorry. Yeah.
But like, your kids, like, were happy for you. But yeah, keep going. Tell us about, you kept going. Mm-hmm.
And so I kept going and I got it. He was like, yeah, sure, it's fine. I said, great. Like, can you lend me the money? I'll pay you back when I get paid at the end of the month. Yeah, go ahead. Book it. Great. Boom. Paid for it right then and there. October 15th, we started. I think by December, you were like, hey, girl, you'll be ready to start applying. Like, I was in the middle of finishing a one season, transitioning into another season. At that point, we got 2 funerals and stroke in the family. Like, my near-death experience happened, like, I want to say a couple weeks before my first uncle had passed. Like, it was a lot. It was a lot going on. And it just was, all of that was motivation for, like, hey, you're not promised tomorrow. Like, if there's one thing the family deaths had taught me, like, you're not promised tomorrow. If there's one thing my situation taught me, you're not promised tomorrow. Babe, I just thought I had to fart.
Right.
Like, that was my warning sign. Like, I guess the shooting pains was like my warning sign. But like, I'm just thinking I got really bad gas bubbles. It's fine. Let me just kind of maneuver a little bit, let it move down, and I'm gonna pass it through. That was not the case. Girl, you are internally bleeding. You are about to die. And I was like, oh. So it was not the little Debbie cake. Okay. And because, like, at that point, I am at the mercy in your hands, right? I could freak out. I could cry. I could feel all those feelings. Yeah. It's not going to change the fact that if you don't get me on this operating table in the next 30 minutes, I'm done for.
Right.
It's not going to change if I had been depleted of so much blood. They had to send like 3 people in to find a vein that had enough blood in it for them to even put the IV in. For them to even put the other one in, because they were like, holy crap, she needs a blood transfusion. Yeah. Like, it was, and it all happened so quick. Yeah. It all happened so quick. Yeah. And I'm thinking none of this was related to the baby at first, because my uterus was not hurting. Like, I wasn't cramping. I wasn't feeling things like normally you would with a baby. Right. Mm-hmm. But it turns out it was growing in my fallopian tube. So boom, that sucker's ruptured, right? Yeah. I'm down the fallopian tube. Mm-hmm. It's, you know what I'm saying? And you still have to show up, right? Like, you still, yes, Dr. J is telling you to get therapy. You need to get therapy, Keysha. But you also need to finish this freaking portfolio so you can start doing these applications. Like, it really was, you got to put your big girl pants on and ask yourself, like, are you done yet? Like, because you're allowed to feel your feelings and wallow in the sorrows. You are.
And I think what happened is you
I feel
like what you did, and you probably didn't even realize what you were doing, you had experienced so much pain that you essentially built tolerance for that pain. So like, therapy, yes, that's one thing to really help with your thoughts. But like, because you're someone who really does think about your thoughts, you were already kind of doing it. But I felt you also, because you literally almost died. People have actually died. And it's like, oh, I just got to do this portfolio. I just got to do this. I just got to do that. So I remember you sent a picture and you went to a cafe. Like, you're like, oh, I'm fine this time. So it's like, I feel like if anything, learning from this, if you are someone who's experiencing a lot of pain, what if we use that as our fuel to get things done? Like, for me, like, I lost my mom when I was 21 years old. I had no idea that was going to happen. Literally, like, I had a whole weekend planned of her coming up for a Christmas celebration and like no Christmas celebration, funeral. And my world was shaken up. But for me, Life is Short came to me. I was like, oh, wow. If I thought she was going to be here Saturday and then we're going to a funeral instead, life is flashing. That's when I started traveling. That's when I started doing everything. And I make the joke now. It's not a joke though, but like when I die, they won't find an ounce of potential. Every single mother effing thing that I thought about wanting to do, I'm doing it. And I think that was the impetus for me to do anything. That next month, I started grad school. Most people are like, "You're crazy. Why are you starting grad school?" Because life is. I'm
Because
going up.
life is short.
Yeah,
because
short.
you could go to sleep and not wake up. My godfather passed away in his sleep after a softball game.
Yeah.
Like, and that happened when I was a teenager. So, like, yeah, I noticed it, but I didn't really notice it. Now it's like, boom. We were going to fly into Orlando last year and then fly to California to see my uncle before, he passed, because we knew he was sick. That's the one death we were kind of prepared for, but wasn't prepared for, right? And then tickets ended up being absolutely crazy, right? This is at the height of the BS with our economy. And I was like, all right, cool. Well, we can, and this is the problem. Like, even on a biblical level, it's very selfish of you to assume that you have tomorrow. It is. So, because we thought, right, it's cool. We'll drive to Orlando. We'll drive back to Texas. We'll fly from Texas to California. It's a cheaper flight. Babe, we woke up the day of embarkation day and got, my mom accidentally actually texted me that night because she meant to text my dad, but it actually ended up being our group chat of like, hey, do you want me to tell the kids tonight or tomorrow? My dad replied back, just tell them tomorrow.
Too late.
But by that point, it's too late because I've already read the message, but I didn't say nothing to my brothers, right? So I wait for the next morning, wake up. That's when they were like, hey, we want to let you know your uncle passed. Damn, right? What if we bought that ticket? Because now I'm flying to California, but we can't get him in for the funeral until like the next week anyways. And I just got this job of teaching. That's my first week on the job. We have 2-a-days, we have practice, we have tryouts, we have all that, right? And it was like, damn, that's selfish of you to assume that you were going to see him, that he was going to stay that long. And it's the same case. My second uncle that passed literally a few months later, my dad's brothers, losing them both. I feel so like I'm heartbroken for my dad, right? I'm a daddy's girl. You just lost both brothers in 3 months. Like, that's insane to me. We were supposed to go to his birthday party. My parents came up here to the North Texas area to come check on me because they saw me spiraling and they were like, okay, hey, are you good? My dad sat right there on this couch and was like, hey, Kiki, do you have a tournament next weekend? I said, no, Daddy, this is our last week of volleyball and then I got a break before soccer. He said, okay, cool. Well, your uncle's birthday party, he's having like a barbecue party type thing. It was also a housewarming because he just bought a new house. And also his retirement party because he was in the Air Force and then he eventually retired active duty, was doing contracted work. He finally retired from everything. So it's like going to be a 3-whammer jammer kind of party. Going to be a great time. I said, bet, count me in. That's my boy, right? He passed 2 days before the birthday. And I was proctoring a test. I was proctoring a test at the time. And I saw my dad had texted me, and my dad never texts us. He's a man of few words when it comes to yes, I'll text him because he'd be that type to be like, okay, period. You know what? I'm going to call him. You gonna make, So I'm reading I read the text and I said, what? What? So I had to like walk away and I had to call because I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? And so that happens, and crazy for you to think that tomorrow is promised. So like, that's the fuel. Like, you can say, oh, I'm going to do my portfolio tomorrow. And fine, if that's what you want to do. But like, that's crazy of you to think you're going to wake up tomorrow. Because you really don't know. And that's crazy of you to think that even if you did wake up tomorrow, are you sure you're going to make it the 24 hours? Sounds really demented, but like, you have to weigh your options on, is it really that hard? Create the portfolio. Is it that hard to practice interviewing and sound weird on the camera when you send it to Dr. J because you done stuttered 5 times and it 10, so you're not gonna do it again.
So you basically saying all the things are small. So the people, all clients, all girls who are talking about, okay, I don't have the time. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't understand. Or, maybe like, oh, but I don't know if I really should do this, right? Or, and I remember you saying, okay, no, I saw that money come out my account. I'm about to get something. You really every single, I get a lot of objections of people like not wanting to start on their career. But I feel like you literally, I just came up with a quiz and it's like 4 things blocking you. You've had all of them. You're like, money, anxious. Okay, no, okay, I don't know this money, but it's motivating me. I don't have the time. You literally did not have the time, but you made the time.
Mhm.
You've been trying for a long time, but you're like, I don't know why it's not working. You're like, okay, let me learn the skill. And
Mhm.
literally you that second guessing, you're like, do I want to? Then you're like, no, I'm doing it. Like you
I'm
literally
doing it.
overcame every single one of them. So I want
Mhm.
you to talk because right, and I think one of your losses happened in your new job, right?
2
Two. So
losses the
talk
first
about
week. Isn't that
so
crazy?
talk about the difference
My boys.
between you being in your new job that's remote. And so fast forward,
Mhm.
Keysha did all the long story short, Keysha did all the work to get her job.
All
I'm
the
gonna save
things.
y'all the resume, the interviewing thing. She
All
just
the
did what she needed to do. And I don't wanna skip over that, y'all. If y'all go to any other podcast episode to hear about how to interview, if you want to actually get hands-on support, literally my program. By the
Mhm.
way, y'all can look at in the link in the show notes to book a call or take the quiz to figure out what's blocking you. But she did all of that. She just did everything in my program to get her a job. Okay. We already worked on a promotion, etc. But I want you to talk to the girlies directly who have every single reason under the sun of why they aren't able to do anything. They can't do this. Because it's the same thing like you. They will talk all about all the problems, but the solution, oh, they don't know what that is.
Right.
They don't exist. Talk to them in a loving way or however way you feel like they need to hear it. Because like this is not shame. Our goal, like my goal, is rich teachers. We need everybody
Right.
making money. And then you can also answer the question about how you was able to have it. But like, let's talk to the girls and then like the difference of like how you were able to have that time because you actually were able to like just go versus oh, I have a
Yeah.
soccer game. I got to go to it. Talk about all
That
those
was
things.
great. I would say if I was in a coach's hat situation and you were to come to me as a mentor and be like, Keysha, I can't do this because of this, this, and this. It reminds me of what happened way too often of an athlete walking up to me, Coach, I'm on my period. I don't think I can work out today. And I'm going to look them in their face and say, hey, I'm on my period. I can't be your coach today. And they'd be like, I'm going to go warm up, coach. Good talk. Because that's really it. At the end of the day, life is hard.
Because
It's hard.
you push through
Yeah.
the classroom every day.
But you got to keep going, control the controllables, right? The usual cliches. But like, whatever excuse you have for why you can't do it is also the same excuse you have as to why you should do it, right? Like, my two uncles passing within like a few days of each other, a week into my new career, couldn't have been better timing. RIP, I love my boys. I wish they were here on earth. But I also know that that is out of my control, right? I am not God. I cannot control how long you're here. But I do appreciate that I was given the time and the space to actually feel their losses because I didn't get that with my first two uncles. Like, I didn't get that with myself. I didn't get to feel the loss of our child. I didn't get to feel the loss of, sounds really stupid, but my fallopian tube. Like,
No, it's
I
not
didn't get to
stupid.
feel any of that until afterwards when I had no freaking choice but to. And now I'm spiraling. I didn't want that. And I'm grateful for this new remote job. Like, that was the main thing I remember telling Dr. J. I needed to be remote. I don't want a hybrid. I don't want to work from home. I don't want nobody tracking my freaking mouse. Like, tell me what you need from me and I will make sure that I get it for you.
Yeah.
But I need time to rediscover who I am. I need time to feel everything that I've been through in the last 365 days. I need time to enjoy motherhood. Like, I want to be with my baby. I want to see her grow. And she's at that age now where she's going to start doing activities. And I want that. And yeah, I could make the excuse I didn't have time. But, and this is no offense to anybody, seriously, but I've seen a regular teacher's schedule. You show up 30 minutes before school starts. You leave 30 minutes after the kids leave. That's anywhere from 7:30 to about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But you don't have time. I was working an average of 70 to 80 work hours a week.
Yeah.
For 10 years.
But she's a coach, like
I'm a
coaching
coach.
sports.
So I have before school duties. I've got after school duties.
Actual
I've got
games.
weekend duties. I gotta ride the bus. I gotta go pick up the Suburban. They got me out here driving kids around like I'm a bus driver. Like, there's a lot of things that take up time, right? Like, I have to use my conference period to go pick that Suburban up. So that's time that I could be working on my portfolio, working on my resume, working on whatever, right? But I have responsibilities, and you have to find that balance. And for every time that you say, oh, I don't have enough time, well, that was time that you had, actually. Every time you say I don't have enough time, the time you wasted to say that, you could have just did it. Because the hardest part really is starting, right? That's your brain's natural instinct to keep you safe, right? Different is scary to the neurological setup of us as humans, right? That's our brain. It's there to keep you safe. It's there to make sure that you survive, survival of the fittest kind of thing.
Correct.
But you have to tell your brain that you're safe, right? Like you filling out a portfolio, baby, you're not in danger. You're okay. Your brain don't know that just yet, but you got to tell your brain, hey, it's cool. We're fine.
You're just learning a new job.
Like if you really genuinely don't understand the words, you can replay the video. She recorded it for you. You can press
you can ask a question.
Press rewind. You can hit her up. I asked the most random questions, probably at the most random time of days. And when I felt like it was too long to type, baby, Dr. J's listened to me talk for 3 minutes. I'm in the phone. She probably hears wind in the background because I'm walking from my freaking gym to my car because I got to run home and grab this before I got to come back because we got whatever going on. Like, because even as a coach, babe, like it's not even just practice, right? It's not just games, it's not just tournaments. They think because you're like the second highest paid person on campus that they could just use you for everything. So any orientation days, any parent talking days, anything having to deal with school spirit, boo, you got to be there because you're the face of the school. So when I hear teachers talking about they ain't got no time, yes, you do.
You do,
bro. You do, though. I used to meet with Dr. J at 7:30 in the morning, and then they switched me second semester to having a first period class because I used to have first period off. And now I'm meeting with her in my freaking science lab while I'm over here telling my little baby boys, can you please stop doing whatever that is I'm looking at? Please,
you know, you're prioritizing your new career. So a lot of people are like, oh, I can't do that. I'm like, okay, you're choosing. I'm like, you're choosing your current career over your new one. You like your job. Reasons why I like my job, and it's like, oh no, I don't. Okay, so then we gonna make the time.
So then,
especially when it comes to interviewing too, because then you're like, oh, but when do I have interviews? You just make it work. Like it's
if you don't use them PTO days.
The thing is, teachers, y'all are already you're already doing it. Being a classroom teacher, you're doing things you don't want to do. You don't have the time to do all the things that they want you to do. You're not making the money that you don't have. If you keep giving, it's kind of like staying with a broke man or woman, whatever. You're staying with a broke person. You know they don't have no money. You know they don't value you, but you're staying here. But I love them.
But do you?
I like money in my pocket. I like money in my pockets. I like traveling. Talk about your new life. I remember the day when it was like you had got your new job, you were brand new, and then hubby was kissing you goodbye, your daughter was kissing you goodbye. I remember that vividly. Sorry, I have ADHD. I just have that remembering.
Oh, it's okay.
Can we go to that moment? I'm sorry, because like now y'all heard all that. I want y'all to know we skipped over certain things. Most episodes we talk about interviewing process. She just did all the work. She's in her new job. She had all the life happening that she did it, and we're not saying she just powered through it. I feel like she powered through as much as she could, and she realized, okay, I need some help. And she got the help, and she did what she needs to do. So now she's on this other side. I remember that vividly. I'm like, girl, you are a brand new person.
Yeah,
like you were just so joyous. Like they left goodbye.
Such a fun day. Yeah, I remember that day. Perfect. It was wonderful, and my husband was even like, she's back, because he did lose me for a second there. He did. And he gave me a kiss and bye, mommy. Have a great day. And I was like, thanks, girl. And it was such a great day because I just felt so at peace, but not comfort, at peace. Like my soul was at peace. My mind was at peace. My body was at peace. I felt aligned. Like, we did it. Like it was one of those, we made it, because it was a full-blown sprint for a minute. And it took 4 months to do what I tried to do by myself in 4 years, right? I'm a go-getter. Like I said, I could figure stuff out. So I tried to do it by myself. I did. And this is just not one of those careers where if you're expecting it to happen overnight, you're not going to do it by yourself. I hate to blow your ego there. I really do. But it's true. You need help. Like, and the coach in me knew I needed a coach. Right? I needed somebody, because I have raw talent, right? I would like to think raw talent, athleticism. I have the athleticism of intellect to do the job. but I do need a coach to teach me the steps, right? Like, how do I approach the ball? How do I approach the resume? How do I approach the application? Like, they're going to ask me, I'll never forget our first mock interview. She hit me with a question, baby. I said, whew. I blew clear to her immediately. I said, I wasn't ready for you to ask me that. I remember that. I was like, how do I answer that one? Like, and if you don't have a coach, you're relying on people on TikTok and you're relying on people on the internet. And that's not to discredit what they say, but unfortunately, the way the algorithm is set up, they're going to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. They're going to show you that person that's going to give you the interview test, but you know what's going to be in that video underneath it when you scroll? Oh my God, it's so hard to get jobs in this career. Oh my gosh, the job market is absolutely trash. Oh my gosh, I just spent the last 6 months applying and I haven't gotten, that's coming. It's coming, unfortunately. But when you have somebody that is literally giving you the blueprint, she's literally giving it to you. You just gotta pay, unfortunately, eh? But like, why are you going to the job if you're not there to make money? And if you're there to make money, why are you making money if you don't plan on spending it? And if you are going to spend it, you should probably invest it in something that's going to make you more money. And this is what we would call an investment, right? Yeah. Like I saw that money come out of my account. And I said, well, goddamn, let me just go ahead, sit down at this computer and do what I need to do because it's going to come back out next month. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And by that point, I better have most of this stuff done. I got most of my stuff done within that first, like,
you was quick.
Baby, I wasn't playing. I was
quick.
And like, shout out to my co-teacher at the time. He was amazing. He pretty much led because he knew I was trying to get the book. Like, I let him know, baby, I'm going to be here at May. I don't know where I'm going to be. I don't know where I'm going to be.
I think a lot of people say that, but you meant it. And there's two things I want to hit on. So number one, you just said, like, as a coach, you like, I know I need a coach. Every teacher has some type of mentor or coach. The only difference is, which is the point too, in education, most of your mentors don't get extra paid to be your mentor. They are doing it for free. So unfortunately, a lot of teachers have it ingrained that, oh no, I'm just going to be resourceful. I'm not, like, they don't even allow their brain to open up and think about investing. However, in that same breath, they're like, oh, I want $100,000 job. So it's like, to be honest, like, me making money and all people who I like making money, like, if you don't see the power of investing, and I mean investing to actively increase your income. There are, like, most teachers that already have their retirement that's investing for long term. But right now, short term, right now, immediately this month, your paycheck is what it is. You're not getting $100,000 in a peaceful career. I know educators that make $100K and they are miserable still. But if you don't see the value of investing, no one's going to see the value of investing in you, because that comes to the interviewing. So, like, I want to talk a little about that, because, like, the teachers, that's another big thing. Teachers are like, I'm resourceful. I'm not paying for anything. What do you say to that? And I'm not telling y'all got to join the program, even though the program is.
You probably should.
Pay, you know.
Unbiased opinion. I think you should.
Unbiased.
Like, at the end of the day, even as a teacher, you still make investments. Like, baby, teacher pay teacher is an investment. You didn't create that material, but you paid the $1.99 to get the worksheet. That's an investment. Why? Because you want to make sure your students have what they need. You want to make your life easier, not do the curriculum. Someone else already wrote it for you. Give them $45. You got the curriculum. Now you can just teach it. Like, that's an investment. Is this a hefty investment? Yeah, but is it more expensive to go back to college to try to do it? Because at the end of the day, if you're a teacher, it means you have a college degree, which means you've already made an expensive investment. So this is not new territory, but it is new material. It is new things to learn. And if somebody is out here giving you the material and you have the opportunity to essentially do a fast track collegiate program, why not take that opportunity? You know, like, I can think of, because what was it, like 560 that came, 565 that came out? Yeah. Do you know how easily I could blow that? Do you know how easily I do blow that? Like, between Amazon, TikTok shop, random things that just eating, baby, I will eat that paycheck away because I love food. I love food experiences. You know, like, you can drop that money in literally a weekend, but you don't want to pay that once a month so that she can help you get paid twice a month. Like, that was one of the best things to happen for me personally. It was the bi-weekly paycheck. I love that because now it makes it easier, because that's one thing they give teachers, believe it or not. They say teachers are amongst some of like the top 5 self-made millionaires. And a lot of it has to deal with us learning how to be financially smart because we have no choice but to make money stretch for 4 weeks. Like we have no choice. So now you have those principles that you've learned in that new role, but now you're getting it's like a halfway point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The benefits that come with it. Love that. I love that. And if all that took was for me to give Dr. J a cool little $4,000 or $5,000 for her to set me up to make more than that for the rest of my career, that's an investment worth making because like once you have the information, you have the information. And if you're saying being resourceful, I think that's probably one of the best resources you can have is somebody that's internally in the game. Like she hires people to do the roles that she's teaching you how to do. So don't you think she would equip you with the proper things that she would find to hire somebody with? You know? So like at the end of the day, if you coming up with excuses and reasons why you can't do this, at that point, it really is a you thing. It is. And you have to figure out what it is that's scaring you and making you uncomfortable to not want to do it. Because something's stopping you, right? You have all the excuses, whatever may have you, but like I feel like with teachers, a lot of the time, it's probably your fear of failing, right? You feel like that imposter syndrome. I'm not good enough to do this. I've always been a teacher. I don't know how to do. Babe, you are teaching. You're literally sitting on these calls with these admin, and you are teaching them how to implement. You are the implementer technically as a teacher. You're the one implementing, right? So you know how to do it. She's just teaching you the corporate jargon to be able to communicate that in the interview that you are capable of doing the job. And honestly, in the career that we chose, they love to hire teachers because you're like the inside man. You have boots on the ground, right? You were in there. You did the covert and the overt research. They love to hire you, but you also have to have confidence in yourself that you can actually do it. Cause I feel like that's what is stopping a lot of people is that lack of confidence. And that's all I spoke into my athletes when I was in middle school. Cause that's a very weird, finicky time where confidence does get shaky and you have to sit there and you be like, hey, I believe in you. And if you're waiting for someone to say that because you don't have someone in your corner, maybe you don't have a village, maybe you are by yourself, maybe you are drowning like I was drowning, hun. If Dr. J crossed your thing, that was God sending you the boat. You know that story? Yeah, about that guy that had 3 boats that passed and you said, no thanks, God's gonna save me. This is the boat. This is the boat. Like, and you should probably take it while it's there. Like you really should, because it's worth it. It's a good time to do it. And there's always going to be people that want to be teachers. Like and you could use excuses. Oh, my students, baby, they don't have another 12 teachers in their life. Like, they won't forget you. There'll only be one you. I tell them all the time, I get 300 of you every year, but you only get one Coach J. Love me while you have me, because you can't have me forever. And this career can't have you forever. Your unhappiness shouldn't have you forever. Whatever excuse you say to not do it is probably an excuse you need to do it. You should do it. You're not happy. You want your time. You want your money. You want your sanity, right? You want your personality back. You want to come home and not be absolutely drained that you can't do anything but just close your eyes and go to sleep. You don't want that. No one wants that for their life. Like, that's so unfulfilling, if you would, you know? You don't have time for if you don't have time to do these portfolios and all the tasks, right? All the work. If you don't have time for that, you don't have time for hobbies, and hobbies feed your soul.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like, and you want to do these things, and I want to start a run club, or I want to start crocheting. I want to do all these things. That requires time. And if you have time to pick up those hobbies, you have time to change the career that will give you more time to do even more hobbies. You know?
2 things that popped up. So one, you said confidence. So a lot of things you said. A lot of things. I remember. So number 1, confidence. Confidence is actually built through action. So I think the reason why you consider yourself a confident person is because you've done a lot of things. Sometimes people don't do the things because of fear of failure, fear of what people will think. But it's like when you start doing lots of things that scare you anyway, or you do things and people still have, because the thing is, people are going to critique you if you do something. People are going to critique you if you don't do something. So guess what? You're going to get critiqued either way. People are going to have something to say either way. So I'd rather people say something with me trying to do it. That's number 1. But that's how I built confidence. Confidence is just doing something over and over again. And with this journey, you're going to fail. Like it's not, you're going to fail in some area because you're learning something new. Like you said, interview question. You're like, oh, I'm confident. Oop, don't know that one.
What was that?
Okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I think that you described, the honest thing that I believe that's holding educators back is an ego death.
Yeah.
In order for you to become the new version of yourself that you want to become, an ego death has to happen, which means
Yes.
all the stories that you tell about why your life is the way it is, like you said, number one, that's using time that you could be doing the thing. But it's
Mhm.
like you will have to feel wrong, and that's okay. Like that is, I think that the high achievers don't like to be wrong. They don't
Mhm.
like to feel like they're a beginner. They like to feel like
Mhm.
they know everything, but like it's okay to not know everything is what I really want to drive home. Like I know
Yeah.
I'm direct and Keisha's a coach, so like we are direct,
A little bit.
but allow this to land in a way that this is tough love. Like we would
Yes.
not be sitting here talking here out today if we did not want to really inspire you to take your next step and do it scared.
Mhm.
Like I believe everyone should have like there's 4 areas of money. You should be able to have money to pay your bills, money to
Mhm.
save,
Yep.
money to invest, like long term and short term. Like you should be actively increasing your career and also spending money. Like
Mhm.
my spending money is more than my admin paycheck. I'll tell you that right now. And I feel like I still need more. I like to spend money.
Right.
I like to spend time doing
Yes. I
whatever I
like
want
the
to.
things money can buy.
Correct. Listen, money does solve all your money problems. It does. It doesn't solve all of them. Okay. But
Not
it
all the
does
time.
solve, no, it doesn't solve all your life problems, but it does solve your money problems. So, like you said, to your
Mhm.
point, when you are out of this, so like start imagining out of this job, I have time. I've made the time to get my new job. Now I have time.
Now I have time.
Now I can pick up hobbies. I go to Disney. I go Universal. I go everywhere I want to go. Talk
Yeah.
about your life now, all the fun
All
and
the
free time you have.
things. Well,
Tell
we
us.
just got back from our cruise, but we usually take that every summer for anniversary. However, now that I have the time, we're actually planning on doing 2 cruises a year now. So, like I said, I don't think I wasn't ugly. I was just not tan. You know what I'm saying? So if I just tan every few months, I can keep the bronze goddess going forever, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that I decided I was going to learn how to play the ukulele. So that's one of my new
Love
hobbies.
it.
My husband for Christmas had got me a KitchenAid mixer. So now I am going to be Betty Crocker and start baking things. And I
Love
like to
it.
call myself a hobby hobbit, if you would. I like to try all the things. I have the coloring books, I have the crochet sets, and then I want to learn to knit and I want to learn to do this and I want to decorate my patio. Gardening is my next thing. I learned that you can grow a mango tree in a pot. And that did something for
Mm.
me because I was like, oh my God, I'm a girl freaking mango tree.
You need
And
to be
just,
a hobby coach. That might be your
yeah,
business idea. A lot of people don't know how to have hobbies. That
out of
might be
hobbies.
it.
Yeah. Like I just, you know, when
You
you say
might
that,
got to be a hobby coach because people. Do you know how many people? I don't know what my hobbies are. I don't know. People
just
need a
freaking
hobby because
try it. You know what I'm saying? Just
only
try
and
gaming.
only rich people have hobbies.
Yeah. Because they have time. Because they have time. That's really
Lesson
it.
planning is not a hobby. Decorating your classroom is not a hobby.
And
Going
the thing
to games at
is,
your school is not a hobby.
it's not a hobby. It's not a hobby unless it's not your career. Like you writing lesson plans just because you really, because there's some of you that really love that shit. And I love y'all because you keep the career going. You keep it going for teachers like me that just want to be a coach. But get paid for it at least. If you're going to write all these freaking
Right.
lessons and like that's what you like to spend your free time doing, then just get paid for it. Like I
Yeah.
said, teacher pay teachers or make your own website so you don't got to pay their domain fees and all that
Yeah.
stuff. But like there's you can really make a hobby out of anything, to be honest with
And
you.
having a hobby just allows you to like recover and
Mhm.
rest. Like I love talk about. Like, I just love doing. I'm a professional dilly dally. That's what I've been saying
Yes.
lately.
Oh, I
I
love
dilly
that.
dally. I dally and I dilly all day
All
long.
day. Like I love that. It's one of my favorite hobbies is dilly dallying. Like cuz you just
Yes.
have the time to just
Mm.
you
Because
know, like
money is one thing, but time is like we spoke to.
Mhm.
Time you can always make more money. You cannot get time back. You
No, you
cannot get time with your loved ones either.
Mhm.
So it's like with you having a career, again, this is not convincing you to leave. This is just if y'all are talking on the cash money about how you hate your job and you want to leave.
Right about
Okay?
you
It's
don't
on the
want to be
cash
there anymore,
money.
you know?
On the other side of that is more time for you to, a lot of people even to figure out who they are. Because I feel like you
Mhm.
have the gift of you knew who you were. I don't know if you watch Euphoria. Maddie knew who she was at a young age.
No, but I will watch it.
There's
I
a
will
commercial. All she says is like Maddie knew who she was at a young age.
at a
But
young
Either
Well,
way,
I
you
wish you.
knew the vision. So maybe for some people, if you maybe don't know who you are, if you can't describe yourself outside of a teacher, maybe it's starting there. Because I think
Yeah.
someone had asked me in an interview, like, "Oh, so when did you know it was time for you to go?" I was like, "Oh, I always knew this wasn't
This
it."
was the end game for me. Yeah.
I like serving, I like guiding, I like teaching, and I'm teaching now, pretty much teacher on the internet.
You're serving and you're guiding, you
I'm
know?
serving and I'm guiding, but
Mhm.
I'm also serving and guiding my pockets to more things than just my bills. Like I got 2 wands. I'm by
Right.
wanded.
Do you hear
I
me?
got
Like,
okay, I am by wanded. I went to Universal. I anyway, let's wrap up. What else do you want to say to the teacher girlies about anything? What's on your heart to speak to them directly that they need to hear? Because every time I have an episode like this, all new clients refer to one of y'all. So I know I'm gonna have several. Oh, I watched Keysha's podcast and so what do you want to say to the girlies?
to the girlies, honestly, if you're listening to this podcast, if you're watching this podcast, that's already a sign that you chose yourself. But I need you to keep choosing yourself. Don't just be like, okay, and then find something else to put your focus and your energy into. Because at the end of the day, if it is not adding to your spirit, it is very much sucking it away. And
Mm,
to watch your light diminish is a sense of sadness that I really do not wish upon anybody.
mm,
For you to lose who you are and never be able to find it again is not something that I wish for anybody.
mm,
So if in your head your identity is, oh, I have always been a teacher, or oh, hey, I've always worn this hat, the beauty about hats is they come off. You can trade them.
mm,
You can always put the teacher hat back on, like, but you don't have to necessarily do it in a classroom in that
mm,
educational structure sense. Like, you can be a teacher of life. You can be a coach of life. You can be whatever leadership role you see yourself as, but you don't know who that is because you haven't seen them in so long. If you have, you would not be here. And to be honest with you, like, if you were genuinely happy with where you are in life, you would have never looked outside. Because you can look out a window, but did you actually see the bird kind of thing, right? Like, you can look at other careers and be like, oh, that's really cool, but did you see the path? And now that you've seen the path, because you're here, you're listening, you've seen it, are your eyes actually open? Like, it's here. It's in front of you, you know? So, like, to my teacher girlies, babe, if you're here, the step's done. The hardest part really is starting. You've started. Now you need to tell yourself that you are in a safe space enough to keep going. You don't know what the end is. You don't know what's going to be your first job. You don't know how that first interview, you don't know. And that is really scary for teachers specifically. Why? Because we like to know things. That's why we're teachers. We like to know the answer. Like, and we like to deliver the answer. And sometimes you
mhm,
have to have faith that wherever you're walking, the answer will eventually be revealed, but you do have to keep walking. Because at the end of this, the tunnel is not bright, shining light. You see everything that's in front of you. It is legitimately like just a couple steps ahead. But if you don't keep walking, you do not know what's at the end of the path. If you
mm.
stop halfway through and you decide, screw it, I don't want to do this anymore, and you go back, well, you have now walked the same distance and you've gotten absolutely nowhere. Seems like a waste of energy.
2 things. If you were a Harry Potter, can you hear me? Yeah. If you were a Harry Potter, do you remember the Chamber of Secrets analogy? Can you give that one?
Yes. I felt like through my life, I have done a lot of things and I have opened up a lot of chambers of secrets. A lot. A lot. And you have opened the door, you can't close it, right?
Mm,
It's open. So now you need to go through what is in there. Some might call it unpacking, but like, you have to go through the chambers. You have to see what's in the different rooms. You have to rediscover what it is you want financially, what it is you want in a career, what it is you want in yourself, what it is you want out of family, what it is you want out of your friends, what it is you want out of your relationship with God. Like that, those are chambers that you have opened, or at least I hope you're opening,
yeah,
but you got to clear the smoke so you can
yeah,
see, right? And now that you see, you got to comprehend, you got to
right.
understand, you got to accept who you are. But like that chamber of secrets, for me, I feel like started happening in college, and I just kept opening more chambers without actually going through them. And then it all came to a segue when I hit those 30s, and you just have that inkling in you to burn everything down and start over
Yeah,
again.
the
Listen,
Phoenix.
listen to that. Yeah, listen
Mhm.
to that, because you will be reborn.
Yeah.
And I hope that what you are reborn into is something that feels like almost enlightenment, right? Like, I am in a career. It's not that you don't want to necessarily work. You just don't want to do the work you signed up for. So sign up for different work,
Right.
you know?
Right. It's like you are allowed to change your mind. Like, I think a
Yes.
lot of educators, they're, oh, I got all my degrees in this, I did all this, but I don't want to change now. And then it's like, what happens is because they got themselves in the situation, it's kind of like a bad relationship. They're like, oh, I'm scared to date again because the people who I was dating was bad. But it's kind of like you got to trust yourself to know, like, everything that happened, I have data now. Like, if anything, you're already in your worst case scenario. You already know how it ends.
Right.
You did everything. You already did everything, and now you're in a worst case scenario. So, like, trust yourself. Like, or more so, like, what would it look like for you to trust yourself? Like, for me, I don't trust myself to just get a book and read it by myself and like a book about my business. I knew I wasn't gonna read no business book and then do it by myself. I was like, nope, I need to ask somebody questions every single week.
Yes.
I need to ask questions.
I gotta ask.
Look, what does it look like for you to serve, to trust yourself? Like, what support do you need? If you don't reach your goal, you just simply did not give yourself the support needed. Whether that means opening up the chamber of secrets, what's really going on? What's really stopping me? Because usually it's kind of like sales. The first objection is not the real objection. You may say, oh, it's the money. And it's like, oh, actually, I'm scared. Or maybe it's like, oh, I'm not scared. I don't know what I'm doing. It's okay if you don't know what you're doing.
It's
Learn
okay.
it. I want y'all to really know every single situation that you're in, that you're describing. I've worked with a lot of educators over 3 years of specifically going to the classroom. There's nothing I haven't heard. Okay, now Keysha was one of the first ones where she had all this life happening. Because I remember when you got your job offer, I was like, girl, you got a job offer? She said, yeah, girl. I was like, you really was out here doing it.
That was very serious. We have to get out of
I can't even say, like I said, no, you need to heal your burnout. And she like, I'm good. She was working on it, but she still was working on it. She didn't let it stop her. Like, and I'm very, very proud of you, but I never told you that.
Thank you.
You kept going. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. I
Did
remember
all that.
I
I just became a teacher.
I'm out of
I
here.
was like, well, excuse me. Okay, now none of y'all, I want to hear no excuses.
None of them.
This girl went through
I probably went through it. I did.
You was in hell and you still got a job.
By a thread. Yeah. And I still was able to show up for myself. Why? Because you have to choose yourself. You have to, like, I had to be selfish for the first time, and I feel like in a long time, and choose myself. Like, as I did choose my daughter, I chose my husband, I chose my students, I chose my athletes, I chose my family, I chose to pour into cups. But eventually, you cannot keep pouring from a cup unless you refill the well, right? You haven't refilled your cup. And this, you sitting here right now listening to us, is you refilling your cup and knowing that whatever it is you are going through, babes, you got it. So you probably gonna cry. I ain't even gonna hold you.
You're gonna cry.
No, gonna hold you. You're gonna cry. I remember the day I cried on the podcast.
I remember.
I did.
Normal. But I tell you, it's normal because I know I'm teetering the line, but you gotta. This
cry.
is not let me go work at Target job. This is I'm going to a whole new career. I have to become a new person, and when you become a new person, you have to adapt a new mindset, which means you have to lose your current one. So you will feel quite literally like you are losing your mind. And you're going to feel that way. Yes, you're going to lose your mind, but it's going to be great. I don't know, this is another Harry Potter. Whenever the guy, it was the potions class, and they were reading The Omen, and it's like, you're going to suffer.
Right, you're like,
you're going to be happy about it.
Right. So, yeah. And you're like, what? And it's true. Yeah. Babies suffer 365.
Yeah.
For 365 days. It was suffer. I had a little sprinkle of happiness and whatnot in there, but no, it was suffering. It was.
You're gonna suffer. I can't even direct that for you. You're going to suffer, but you can suffer with support, or you can suffer by yourself.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you could suffer with somebody that's going to at least be there for you to help talk you through it, you know?
Yeah.
Or you can suffer by yourself and wallow in your sorrows and wake up the next day and realize you have to live that life that you're sorrowing all over again.
Yeah, like, I tell my clients that I call it a 5-minute funeral. I'm like, hey, go ahead and have your 5-minute funeral, die, and then tomorrow show up still.
Show up. Because you actually have no choice but to show up. Like, you dead ass have no choice. Either you're going to show up for yourself or you're going to show up for them kids. Like, but you have to show up, right? Like, either way. So you might as well, if you have the capacity, which I feel like you do, show up for both, right? Like, I was showing up for myself, but when it was time to be with my athletes, I'm with my athletes. You have me wholeheartedly. right? When it was time for me to be with my students, you have me wholeheartedly. But when it is my time, I have to choose me, right? When I can go home and I can give my all to my daughter and my husband, but at the end of the night, I was going to sit down and I was going to knock out whatever was next on my list of things that Dr. J said I had to do, right? Like I would literally sit down, legs crossed, computer in front. I would put on some calm, like you see the YouTube back there? Yeah. I put on my nice little background music that I used to play in my classroom, and I would just vibe out. If I had questions, I'm going to send Dr. J might not get it till the next day because I asked her at like 11:46 at night. But
I be up at night. People be getting voice messages.
Be surprised because she'll respond randomly at like 11:58. You know what I'm saying? And like I would ask questions. Nothing bothered me more as an educator and a coach than when I would be like, all right, do y'all understand? And they tell me yes. And you turn around and you do the exact thing I just told you not to do. Why y'all lie to me?
Yeah.
Why'd you do that? Because
people don't want to ask. You are afraid of asking questions. I was always in the front row. Question. Because
I'm going to ask. Because I don't want to do it and do it wrong. And even if I do it wrong, I would like to know how to do it right. Correct. If you're going to tell me that it's wrong, okay, what's wrong about it and how do I fix it?
Correct.
But that's a question. You have to ask that. And if you're scared to ask questions, really succeeding at anything in life is going to be hard. And then you expect your students and your athletes to ask you questions, but you don't ask questions. I ask questions. I'm one of the nosiest people on campus because I'm going to ask a question.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm going to do that every time. So like you got to have that support system. You have the support system. Now, what's your excuse? If it's the finances, then you should probably do a budget.
Yeah.
If no one told you, like really, you should have a budget to begin with, guys. Just saying. But do a budget. Look at whatever the heck comes out of that bill. Look at when it comes out. And if you got to cut some stuff out, cut it out. Like, you at least know the amount. You know you need to cut out $545 worth of whatever it is you're doing and lock in. It's a 6-month program. Babe, I got my job within 3-4 months. Like it won't take long. That's 3-4 paychecks. Okay. That's not that bad. And it might hurt you to be like, well, I want to finish out the school year. Boo, if you get that job offer and it's what you want, take it. Take it, because you know what happens. If you died today, your job was going to get filled tomorrow. And if it doesn't, that's just because we have a teacher shortage. Let's just be honest. Because if they had them on retainer, they probably would push somebody in that classroom regardless, because them kids need somebody in their face. You're fine. Your kids, that's the main thing that keeps you. Your kids, they want you to be happy. Were they upset when I was like, hey, we're going to watch a movie today because today's my last day and I'm going to catch y'all later? Were their feels hurt a little bit? Yes. But when they found out why I was leaving, they were like, oh my God, I love that for you, coach. This is great. I said, okay, big money. Like I loved them down. They were great. They were so supportive about the whole situation. And if that's what you need to feel like you're ready to go, then I'm here to let you know, baby, your kids just want you happy. At the end of the day, that's really all they want. That's all they care about.
Off the face of this earth? Are they still there? The kids? Like,
they're you know what I'm saying? They're still there. Some of them follow me on social media and I see them doing great things in their high school days. And so my last class at that school that like saved my life from the one that I left, they just graduated. So now I get to see all them go to college and I just love that. And my very first group, the pre-Woosaw group, they're grown and have families now. And I love that. And like, so that relationship that you build, know that it's strong enough to withstand your presence not physically being there anymore. Like if I were to pull up to them soccer and volleyball games right now, baby, they would be so happy to see Coach J. They don't give a damn I left them. They're just happy to see my face again. You know, like that's all they care about. And if that's what's holding you back, just know they love you. If your confidence is what's holding you back, I'm gonna tell you what I tell my athletes all the time. The only way you're going to get better is if you try. Because you don't know if you're bad at it. You didn't try. Like you didn't. And when you did try, maybe you did suck at it. So you thought there wasn't a single athlete out here that didn't suck at some point in their career, that they didn't have to learn a new skill or they didn't have to do, like, you're not the first one. It's okay.
People just see the games. I just started watching WNBA sports ball, by the way. But
proud of you.
People just see the games, but they don't see the practice. They see the games, they don't see the practice. There is practice. If they miss a shot, I best believe they are in practice shooting that same shot over and over again so that they don't miss that shot
50
again.
times over to make up for that one they missed. Like, you see the show. I tell my girls that all the time. Like, baby, game day is showtime.
Yeah.
You look at me like I'm supposed to fix what you got going on, boo. We just spent the last however many hours working on that skill. Now you tell me what's wrong. I didn't move my feet. Exactly. Like, so you practice is where all the nitty gritty goes down. Practice is where the blood, sweat, and tears come into play. Game time? Well, it's time for you to put on a show. It's time for you to show the people what you know. Have fun, smile, have a good time. You mess up, shake it off, you'll get the next point. Like, that's that mental toughness that I try to instill in every athlete that came through my gym. Like, if you're going to say that Coach Johnson was your coach, you damn sure better be a good member of society, and you better have a strong mind, because, baby, we ain't got time for that. You better make good decisions. You better be respectful, but you also better have confidence in yourself that you have what you need to get the job done and to get the job done well. But that confidence did not come from me just stepping out on the court and saying, screw it, I want to play volleyball today. Like, no, you had to learn mechanics. You had to learn body mechanics until you built that muscle memory. But you don't get that muscle memory without the practice. So you can't expect the show. The show is the $100,000 job. That's where you get to show that you can do the freaking job. Yep. But if you do not have the tools and you did not do the practice for said job, you cannot showtime it. You guess you can, but it's not going to be a good game.
It's going to look like you didn't practice. It's going to look like what you're doing.
And you
not
play how you practice.
Not practicing for a $100K job offer is crazy to me.
Yeah, that's crazy because that's an opportunity of a lifetime, and you basically just told them people you don't care enough about it to prepare, and that's not cool. Because if you don't, I'm gonna tell you as a coach, baby, you don't have to be here. I actually did not recruit you. You actually told me you wanted to do this. When you filled out that application, you told them you wanted to do this. Yeah. So do it. Show them why you have the tools to do it. And if you don't feel confident, practice until you do. She literally has mock interviews for you to practice. Like, that's the whole point.
I even have an interview roasting call now where people get on and it's roasting. They're so fun.
Yeah, there's your practice, and that I can't think of a single reason here on earth other than my own self that was stopping me from doing it the first time she came across my page. Like, it really was just me. And I had probably every list of reasons y'all give her, I probably gave myself before I even connected with her. And then when I connected with her, I still even tried a little bit here and there, but none of it outweighed my motivation to be freaking happy, because I knew I was not happy with the career choice that I had. Great. I look good on paper. My accolades are wonderful. I look like a star pupil. But I hated it. I did. Hate's such a strong word. Hate is literally on the opposite spectrum of love. Yeah. You either love your job, you okay with your job, or you fucking hate that shit. And I hated it. I did. Loved my babies down, but dang, some of y'all's kids were really annoying. And that's not my fault. That's not your fault. They're just kids. This is who they are, right? But you can choose to be in their faces for freaking 12 hours a day. You can choose that. Or you could choose not to. Yeah. I chose not to. Because I just didn't think that was good for my mental sanity.
I think you just hit on the point. It's you, like, number one, even with you being a wife, you with being a mom, being a daughter, the only person that could truly, truly save you from yourself is you, because you're probably your biggest critic, but you're also probably your biggest support, because deep down, that voice is also your inner child. You know what you need to do. Like, I tell a lot of my clients when they're like, there's an example, they're like, oh, I'm confused. I don't do this. I'm like, stop being confused. You know what you need to do. Sit there and ask yourself, what do you actually need to do? Oh, yeah, probably do that. So, like, do that. Get quiet. You have to have rest to be able to actually hear yourself. But know that even when God sends you the boat, if you don't get in that boat, that's a choice. And I don't mean it in the same way. It's just ask yourself, why didn't I get in that boat?
Because you got to ask. You have to wonder. Because, again, if you don't know what's stopping you, you can't get over the hump. Like, when I ask an athlete, why you keep doing that with your legs? And you tell me, I'm not doing it with my legs. And then I film you the next rep. And then you look at it, you're like, damn, I guess I am doing that with my leg. Okay, great. So why are we doing that? I think boom. So now that we have figured out what it is that you're doing the wrong way, can we try it this way and just see what happens? Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. And we'll try. There's always multiple solutions to a problem, right? But we got to start figuring out what the heck the problem is first before I start offering solutions.
Okay. 3 more questions.
I'm ready.
First, just tell us what you do in your role. Because a lot of people ask, I'm a PE teacher. Can I transition? Were you a PE teacher?
Sure was.
Okay.
Loved it.
So just getting
Hated
that
it
on
at
the
the same
record.
time. Yep.
And now what do you do in your position? What do you do?
I am an implementation manager, but I essentially have the same roles as a customer success manager. So they're kind of interchangeable depending on what company you're at, essentially. But it's just that I'm managing the customer success, right? I'm making sure that they have an implementation plan set in place. I'm making sure that they are receiving the proper coaching. If maybe we tried something and it doesn't work, there's that multiple solutions to help a single problem kind of thing coming into play, right? You're a PE teacher, baby, you solve problems because I just know some of y'all don't have all the equipment that you should have for the games that you want to play to be great, right? So you start getting creative. You start finding solutions. And as an ex-teacher, you probably are the best person to ask for a solution on how in the world we're going to get the kids to buy in, right? Or how in the world we're going to get the educators to buy in. Because at the end of the day, if there's no buy-in, there's no implementation. No implementation, no success. And that's really kind of what my job boils down to. It's just like, how can we make sure that you have what you need to make sure that this program that you have purchased, you have spent real American dollars on, is getting utilized. You're getting your return on investment, right? Coach Dr. J talks about that return on investment.
Yes.
That is kind of your job there, is to show them how to get a return on investment. And it's been great. It's been a great transition. And I feel like, shoot, being a PE teacher, being a coach, set me up for success for that, because really as a teacher, what do they call that? Differentiation, right? Different solution to teach kids the same freaking information. They just receive it differently. That easily translates over to the corporate world. Not every school is built the same. Not
Which job is harder?
educators. Definitely being a teacher. And again, I was a PE teacher. Okay, I was a PE teacher, but I still have PTSD of being a core teacher. Being a core teacher and a coach was a lot, babes, but that is a lot of teachers are out there doing that. Yeah. And it easily translates, and it really is so much easier just because of the time situation. Your job as a teacher requires you to be physically present, mentally present for a long period of time. Even with those little breaks, our little off periods, our little 30-minute lunches, right? But do you really have time to decompress when you probably have papers you need to grade, or you got emails you need to get back, or you got grades to be put in, or the last school I was at, they had like this literacy initiative. So that's something I was like, babe, I teach PE. What literacy? Like, what are y'all talking about? Like, they just be making stuff up and they just gonna put it on your plate. That's one of those jobs where if you do it really well, they're going to assume you want more work. So if you are a high achiever and a high performer in that career, that is probably why you are the team lead of 5 different teams and you've got 3 after school clubs and you wondering why you ain't got no time for yourself. Because you have poured all you could do. You've poured everything you have into this career, and that career requires that of you. But if you're not willing to give it wholeheartedly, it's going to drain you. If you're giving it literally from the pureness of your soul, because this is just what you love to do, it doesn't feel draining. But if you know this is not what you love to do, it's going to drain you, because you are going to give it all you got, because that's who you are. You are a go-getter. You are going to give it everything. But giving everything but not receiving anything in return, you're eventually going to be hollow. You're not going to feel whole anymore, and you're going to feel lost. That's okay. Not all those who wander lost, right? It's okay to wander. Find some other things you like to do. Find things that easily translate to what you already do, and then cohesively marry those things. Customer success is a cohesive marriage of what they hire teachers for, and that is their ability to deliver information and build relationships. That is probably why you got your teacher job, because you can do both those things. And corporate needs those things. So it just depends on who you want to pay you and how much you want to get paid for it, because you're doing the same thing.
And your job is quite literally helping people get the return on their investment. So it's like, you gotta also see the value of getting a return on your investment. And notice how that was a minute thing. Like, I want you to know, like, just her being in that position is not her whole life. Like, notice how that was like the last thing I asked. I'm like, oh, maybe I should tell them what she does.
You know? But and it's not my whole identity anymore. I love that it is not my identity anymore. Like me and Dr. J talked about this the last time. I feel like I could post whatever the heck I want on social media now. I'm not even wilding in these streets, but I'm just saying.
Wear a shirt that shows some skin.
Yeah, just a little skin, a little something. I can do that now. If I want to have my fancy tropical drink because I thought it looked cute, in my hand and my makeup and hair look great that day, I can post that picture
My morning one is right here.
and not fear that I'm going to lose my freaking job for it. Like, I can thrive and be the feral free hippie that I love to be, you know?
And free will. Everybody has free will, and y'all aren't using it.
And you should utilize it a lot better because, again, very selfish of you to think that you're promised tomorrow. So you might as well do what you want to do today, obviously within reason. Don't be out here doing crazy stuff. But I'm just saying, right? Like, choose happiness today. You don't know what comes tomorrow. Choose yourself today because you don't know what's coming tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. I'm so happy. I gotta move this episode up. So I'm like, I need the people to hear this ASAP because I'm just so thankful and it's not in a bad way. It's like bittersweet that all these things happened to you and you still came out. You burned up like a phoenix and you came out on top. You're living life. I feel like deep down, you were always a good person. You are a good person. I think that's also why good things happening, but it's more so like you're good because have now, even though Keysha may have been sitting there, you never forgot about her. And some people completely forget that she's there. And I've been there before where I've lost myself. So I'm so happy that you have found yourself. And this is just the beginning. You have a whole life ahead of you. Like, who knows?
Isn't it exciting? Like, people think, once you get in your 30s, life is over. Babe, it's just starting, actually. You know what I'm saying? For the first time, I feel like I'm becoming an adult. I feel like I've been an adult for a while by, like, paper standards. But 20s is just older teenage years, I feel like. You know? Like,
30s you want to do, but you have money and time.
You got grown-up money. You get in time. And you feel more comfortable in who you are. And if you are in a position where you don't feel comfortable who you are, 30s is a dang good time to learn. It's a dang good time to figure out what you like and don't like, what you're willing to tolerate, what you're not.
Over in my 30s, left a man, left a job. I left so many things. And now I have the skill of leaving. So like now, somebody come my face playing around. I'm like, don't. I'm actually, I'll leave. How about that?
Because I'm really okay. You know what I'm saying? You actually could have just left me alone, but it's fine. I'll go be alone.
It's correct.
You know?
Like, okay, I have 2 questions I always ask everyone now on my podcast.
Okay.
But before I ask questions, anything else you want to say to the people? Anything else that came up on your heart before I ask the last 2 questions?
I will tell you what I tell all my kiddos that are like, Coach, you gonna miss me? And no, boo, I'm not. But just know when you go out into the world and you achieve great things, know that you do always have a fan in your corner. So to all of those that are listening to said podcast, just know Coach J is in your corner, boo, and I believe in you, and I have confidence that you can do it, and I really hope that you have confidence in yourself that you got this. Yeah. And I cannot wait to hear your success story on the podcast one day.
Yes. And if you don't have a confidence, you can build it. It's always free to build confidence.
Just got to
All right. So I have 2 questions. Okay. You can answer one you want to do. So it's 1, what can the world learn from Keysha? And what does Keysha still want to learn from the world?
Oh, those are good questions.
And these are open. Doesn't have to be related to teaching. It's anything.
What do I want the world to learn from me? I would love for the world to learn the art of not giving a fuck. You know, it's a good art, and just don't give a fuck about what you told yourself 10 years ago. Don't give a fuck about what somebody says about your decisions because it's not making them happy. Because, like, at the end of the day, if it's not making you money, making you happy, or making you peaceful, you really don't need to care about it. And a lot of people care too much about things that don't freaking matter. So when you learn to just not give a fuck no more, you start living your life because it's your life and it's not the life that somebody else built. It's not the life that somebody else chose for you. It's not the life that you think you should be living because you were told that that was the way to do it. Do you? I think that world could really learn from that. And what do I want to learn from the world? I want to learn how to have faith that things are going to regrow even when the seasons don't seem the brightest. I have a control problem. And I
Mhm.
I like for things to be in order in a certain way and for things to make sense, and when they don't, I start to stress out and I freak out because now I'm scrambling for solutions and just nature doesn't know when winter's gonna stop in Texas, right? Like, but the trees bloom. I sat in
Right.
front of this window, this big old sliding glass door, and when I first moved my computer out here, there was nothing on these trees. Bare tree, right? In theory, I moved it out here in spring. During springtime, you're supposed to have blooms, you're supposed to have flowers. But in the state of lovely Texas here, hun, we were having winter apocalypse 2.0. Okay?
Mhm.
Nothing. And then one day, I look out and the trees are all they're all full. Blossom, green, beautiful, luscious. You bloom when you're supposed to,
Mm,
right? And the world can teach you that the work is probably happening on a root level. You don't
mm,
see the shoots just yet. The shoots haven't come
mm,
out. It's just the roots. You don't know how deep your roots go. So, like,
mm.
don't stress out because
Yeah,
eventually you'll have everything you need. You'll have the nutrients, you'll have the water, you have the soil, you'll have the sunlight, you'll blossom.
yeah.
Don't freak out. It
So
might
I don't
not
hear
happen when
anything
you
you
want.
know that that's the order, but
Yeah.
sometimes it's still like,
But
"Ooh,"
it's
but
hard for me to, like, yeah, when I'm in the thick of it, it's hard for
yeah,
me to accept that and take the back seat. And I feel like that is what this past year in my life has taught me is
yeah,
just like, you can't control everything, Keisha, so you might as well calm down. And I'm like,
yeah.
okay, I guess I have no choice but to calm down.
Releasing.
And the earth does that. It
Yeah,
blooms when it's supposed to. And it might bloom in May in one state, but it's not gonna bloom until August in another kind of thing. And you have to be okay with that.
yeah,
And that is something that I am learning. That is something that I feel like I'm gonna continue to learn as I grow and I mature, is that, like, hey, man, take it as it comes. It's okay. You do not have to control the driver's seat all the time.
yeah. You
You don't have to
don't.
slam on that fake brake that, you slam on when somebody's going too fast, and you're like, "You don't wanna stop." You don't wanna slow down, so you're kinda pressing, but there's nothing there, like, you don't have to do that in life. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually more freer, like, more relaxed. I know it feels scary, but, like, once you realize that you're still breathing,
Yep.
all your situations, you didn't die,
You didn't die.
didn't die.
That really should be the motivation in itself, guys, really,
Yeah,
yeah.
you didn't
You
die.
didn't die, and since you did it, you
Yeah,
might as well use this bit of life that you got for something, right?
and you're gonna
'Cause you
die
'cause you
anyway.
did it.
Let's
You might
reset.
right. You're gonna die, but you haven't yet. There we go.
Everybody dies, but not everybody lives.
That's the one. Are you surviving or are you living life? Because it really is a total difference. It is. And I
Life
would much
feels
rather live life while I have it because, when it's
life
gone, it's
is
gone. You don't know when it's happening. When it's gone, it's gone.
you don't know. Life is so short. Life is short.
Mhm.
Keisha, this was such a great episode. I'm
Yeah.
so excited for everyone to listen to it. Again, if you all want to get all the support in Teachers in Tech, you can book a call. You can also watch, we have so many other episodes of other people, but this one, I feel like if you land on this one first, you are in for a treat. This is, again, you went over every single reason why people don't do it, and now they're going to do it because of you. So thank you for blessing us with
Of
your
course.
presence.
Thank you for having me.
No
I can't
problem.
wait to see y'all be great. It's gonna be a fun time. I love this for you.
Yes. Coach Jay and Dr. Dara in your corner.
Coach J and
Okay?
Dr. J, baby, we in your fan section. Yeah. And I'm a little
Course
in here in that game, so you definitely gonna
course
hear me. So
Yeah, I be yelling. I'm like, you better go, girl.
let's go! Yeah, I love it. It's gonna be great.
All right, thank you, girl.
Thank you.